Welcome back onto this edition of Ride with Coach Parry. I'm Brad Brown. We've got our cycling coach, Devlyn Eden, with us once again. Dev, welcome back.
Hey, Brad. Good to be back.
Devlyn, great question today, and it's something we've spoken about quite a bit offline with regards to improving your cycling and things you can do that not on a bike. So one of the things that we've spoken about at length is strength training and the role that strength training can play to improve your performance on the bike. You're a huge fan of strength training. All the training programs you write have got a strength and conditioning sort of component written into it. Before we talk about some of the things you can do, why do you think strength and conditioning is such a valuable thing to add to your cycling training regime?
Look, Brad, there's enough evidence, research that's out to prove that additional strength training is definitely going to benefit your cycling and your performance on the bike. I think I'd probably say a large portion of our clientele generally are people that are sort of our daily lives. We work full days as well. Like I say, in general, so working full days, sitting behind a desk, we spend a fair amount of time in the car as well, driving to work. So as much as we might be active from a cycling point of view and we're training for particular events, we still almost live a relatively inactive lifestyle. And that's just our general daily sort of work, driving to work, like I say, sitting at home as well, watching TV in the evenings. So the strength training just helps in a maintenance of muscle mass as well. So just getting off the bike point of view, just in general lifestyle as well, just to maintain the muscle mass is important. Getting back on the bike, like I say, when we start touching on performance aspects, it also helps reduce the risk of overuse injuries as well. So we're doing stuff that's preparing our bodies to handle the kind of training loads that we will be doing either in training, the high intensities that we might be doing in the races. So having that little bit of additional work that we might be doing, whether it's in a gym, at home, in a Pilates class, what have you, all that just adds as well and assists the body to be conditioned to take on more stress, to take on more load. Doing certain exercises. Sorry, you're going to say something?
Yeah, Dev, I was going to say, often people think strength training and they think that you've got to spend hours and hours in the gym pushing heavy weights. And for a lot of people, as you mentioned, life is busy. We don't all have time to go to the gym. A lot of us don't have access to gyms. So as much as pushing weights is beneficial, it doesn't have to all be done using massive weights and massive machines. You can do stuff at home that's going to make a big difference.
Yes, 100%. And also, I think, just to clarify a little bit more, a lot of people think when we refer to strength training, we're referring to lifting heavy weights, Olympic-style lifts. And while that is an aspect of it, strength training also has a large aspect of body weight movements. Certain movements you might do with resistance bands, whether it's lifting free weights, just using resistance bands, body weight work as well. All that has a component of coordination and balance involved as well. So doing those movements, and I mean, if you think about spending time on a bike, there's a fair amount of balance and coordination that needs to go into that. So doing those movements assist in that from a neural pathways as well as proprioception, sort of your movement around being on the bike helps a hell of a lot with that. So we're also not just referring to lifting heavy weights, but there has to be movement happening. There's a lot of mobility work that comes into it as well. And then the stability side of things, and then obviously leading on to flexibility. So all these aspects have piled together, give us our strength training that is needed. So yes, as you mentioned, can be done at home, whether it's outdoors, indoors, using very little weights. You can just use resistant bands, body weight kind of work that is key and will definitely give you some form of benefit.
Absolutely, and we've put together a training program, a strength training program that's definitely going to benefit your cycling. You'll notice there's a link somewhere along here, up above, somewhere below, wherever. Just click on it. You can download it for free right now, and it'll definitely help your cycling. We've recorded a whole bunch of videos too that'll show you exactly how to do the exercises. Form and that sort of stuff is very important as well. Dev, what sort of stuff can a cyclist do to from a specific exercise perspective can you do? Like, what sort of exercises really help with the strength and conditioning side of things when it comes to cycling?
All right, so there's a couple of things, and again, if we're going to keep it relatively simple, so when I say simple, like at home kind of thing, body weight squats are always going to be vital. You can progress depending on what level you're at to then start moving into single leg squats, sitting down onto a box. I wouldn't recommend doing single leg squats though if you don't have any experience in doing squatting, because then there's obviously a little bit more risk of injury. So make sure you're progressing in all the exercises correctly. Things like squats, lunges work really well. We start talking core stability and core strength is vital for cycling. And that can also be counted with, well, not counted, but also done in conjunction with something like a home Pilates course, or if you're joining Pilates classes. We also tend to think because we're cyclists and cyclists use predominantly our legs and on the bike, we forget and we neglect our upper body, and that is also very key, especially if we start taking the discipline of mountain biking into account. The amount of jolting and moving around on the bike that happens and the impact that you take. I mean, if you've done a long enough race on a pretty technical course, you start to feel how your upper body takes shots as well. So push-ups, lat pull-downs work really well, push-pull type actions. It is quite key to make sure that we don't neglect the upper body. And then lower back work and back strength work is also vital when it comes to cycling strength training.
Dave, one thing that I love about it too is you don't need to spend hours and hours every week doing this. Just a couple of times a week, 20 to 40 minutes is all it takes, and you'll see some big impact in your cycling. Yeah,
doing strength training and doing something like this, doing something is always better than doing nothing. I'd try and aim for at least 2 sessions a week, and possibly anything between 30 and 45 minutes would be sufficient.
Fantastic. Well, if you want to check out that strength training program that's going to improve your cycling, you can do it at home with no expensive gym equipment needed. All you need to do is click on the link that's with this video, download it, and yeah, we'd love to know how it impacts your cycling. It'll take a bit of time to sort of start seeing the results, but you'll definitely see them. So click on that link and download that program now. Dev, as always, great to catch up. Thanks for your time, and yeah, we look forward to catching up again soon.
Sure, bro.